but walked a batter, hit a batter, and a couple of deep fly balls to right field. Coming into this game, I think we were both of the mindset that the ball might not travel today. It's really thick and just the mist has been misting all day. It's not raining or anything. The skies are blue with a tint of gray, sun peeking through the clouds down the left field line. But the wind slightly pushing towards dead center field and the Brazos River right behind. A couple of canoers sitting out there, and they might have known better than me as the ball has traveled really well in that first inning. Some ordinary fly balls that sent Enzo Apodaca, who now steps up to the plate, all the way back to the warning track in right field to start off this ball game in the top of the first. So we may be in line for a couple of big flies. Apodaca, as you had mentioned pregame, he led off the West Virginia series. First at bat of the series, he hit a home run. He digs in with a .341 batting average. First pitch he sees strikes the outside corner at 90 miles an hour, 0-1. He'll be facing Aaron Calhoun, the right-handed arm for UT Arlington. 0-4 record, 8.27 ERA. He works primarily from the stretch, working on the right side of the rubber. His pitch here to Apodaca is bounced towards first. Up with it there is Armstrong. He flips it to the pitcher, but gets Apodaca by half a step. Apodaca just racing up the line, and the pitcher Calhoun, who wasn't initially on his horse, thinking that Tice Armstrong would just take it to the bag himself. He had to rush over, and it was a foot race between the pitcher and batter, and the distance proved to be critical as the pitcher gets there barely fast enough. That's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Apodaca falls to 0 for 3 against Aaron Calhoun, who got the start against Baylor on April 16th, the last time these two teams met.
Will now face Ty Johnson, the left-handed center fielder, who watches the first pitch miss high and away for ball one. Velocity has been good between both of these pitchers, Calhoun and Matheson. As Calhoun just found 93 there, Matheson topped out at 92 in the top of the first. 0-1 count, pitch on the way. Line drive center field. This one will chase Berkeley in. Nope, takes a step back and barely even moves as he just sees it fly right into the glove. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball that was sent all the way into center field at 102 miles an hour, but maybe 2 steps back for Berkeley, and that was about it.
Yeah, he got all of that, did Johnson. 1 for 1 against Aaron Calhoun when he faced him. It was a single right up the middle, and he was picked off the very next at-bat, so that's something, too, to watch out for, the move from Aaron Calhoun.
Similar looking trajectory as that one just roped into center field. 3-hitter Cole Posey swinging away first pitch and chopping one down the third base line. It'll roll foul and all the way to the 3:30 marker next to the Baylor bullpen. Zach Mazok wearing the bullpen catcher gear and doing the bullpen catcher duties. He hops out of the bullpen, snags the ball, and heads back into that bullpen. Cole Posey with an 0-1 count. He's coming off a hot weekend and a hot game 3 against West Virginia. Watch the fastball find the outside corner. It's 0-2. First career multi-homer game for Posey as he found in his first 2 at-bats of that game. He sent him out of the park. His family was in attendance. It was a good day for the Posey family, and it's been a good couple of weeks for him as his batting average sitting at .308 right now. He waits an 0-2 pitch, takes it high and away for ball one. It's up to 4 home runs on the year for Cole Posey. He's quickly become a power threat and someone Baylor is relying on down the stretch with a couple of big names out in the batting lineup. Pitch on the way, dribbled up the middle. This one ties up the shoestrings of Calhoun and rolls all the way into center field. Big turn at first for Posey. He's practically halfway to second base, but he retreats back to the first base bag with the first base hit of the ball game. A little bit of action for Baylor, but Joe, that one looked like Calhoun just tripped over his own feet as he went to snag that one out of the dirt.
Yeah, completely. He took a step towards first base, and then it was hit to his right, so he had to kind of try to backhand it and fall back over towards third. He was unable to, and that's the 21st hit of the season for Cole Posey.
2 outs, and the Baylor Bears still alive. Daniel Altman digs in from the left side, swings first pitch, sends one to right center field. This one's a gap shot. It'll be extra bases. The ball bounces, hits off the top of the wall. Cole Posey rounds third. He heads home. Cutoff throw will not be relayed towards the plate, and Posey scores standing. A first pitch, 2-out RBI double for Daniel Altman sets the tone, and the Bears take an early 1-0 lead. Didn't get to preview the at-bat too much, but Altman all the way back in the box. He was practically taking a few practice swings before the at-bat, getting ready to swing away. Saw a fastball that he liked on the inside corner and tagged it about 380 feet. Ball bounced on the warning track, hit off the top of the wall, and ricocheted enough for Cole Posey to score from first. A big play by Altman as he sets the table for Hunter Toplansky. A line drive up the middle. How about another RBI? Altman trips rounding third, but he's going to head home. Relay throw from the center fielder goes to second base as Berkeley's throw right on line will hold Hunter Toplansky at first. But in 2 pitches, rather make it 3 pitches, 3 base hits on the past 3 pitches thrown by Aaron Calhoun, and the Bears have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, just 9 pitches through the first 5 batters in this lineup. Baylor 12-3 when they score first, 11-3 when they score runs in the first inning. And boy, what a start to this game against Aaron Calhoun for them.
Well, wouldn't this be a story? The designated hitter is freshman left-hander R.J. Rouet, the two-way player, getting his first start in the batting lineup today. Watch the first pitch missed low and away, 1-0. Seen Rouet a lot on the mound, Joe, but now getting to see what this bat entails. A couple of pinch hit opportunities this year for Rouet, a couple of strikeouts. He hasn't found a whole lot of ammunition there. Pick off towards first. Hunter Toplansky dancing around out there and walks back to first while waving his arms like a bird. Now he takes a short lead, bouncing around out there with the pivot foot. Pitch on the way, high and away, 2-0. This would be a nice spot for Rouet, his first collegiate base hit. He was a pitcher killer, especially to right-handers, and during his high school tenure. Two-way player all the way throughout his baseball career. Fouls this next pitch towards the backstop. It's 2-1. The Salina, Texas native has no shift on him, but the second baseman, Black, is playing with both feet on the outfield grass. Short lead at first for Toplansky. 2-1 pitch on the way. Check swing. This one shot back to the Baylor dugout. Mitch Thompson waves his hands in the air as it hits off the fence right in front of him. And the count evens at 2-2 with 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Couple of runs already across for the Bears. They lead this one 2-0 with all the action coming with 2 outs in this inning. Pitch on the way. Inside corner called. Strike 3. 3 at bats in his collegiate career and 3 strikeouts for Rouet. He'll look to break that trend later on. But for now, the Bears played a couple of runs on 3 hits. We head to the second inning with Baylor on top. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all of the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Six, 7, and 8 due up for UT Arlington here in the top of the second inning. I'm Foster Nicholas, joined by Joe Pratt. Baylor Baseball is back at it. Bears sure know how to set the tone, and as you had mentioned some of the stats, Joe, Baylor much better when working from ahead, and they get that opportunity. So does Jared Matheson on the mound, as he has thrived when Baylor has the lead. Of course, hasn't worked too deep in ball games, bouncing back from an injury he suffered earlier on in the season, but trying to get back to 100%. He's seen a couple of starts in back-to-back midweek games. First pitch here to the 6-hitting third baseman, Tate Bethel, is fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Bethel, a 275 hitter. This pitch goes right behind him. He ducks down. That one would have hit him square on the helmet if he didn't move. Bows down, and the pitch skies over his head. Evens the count at 1-1. So a couple of pitches we've just seen Matheson lose the grip of. He hit a batter and Tyson Pointer in the first inning and almost did the same here. Set at the belt, fires home, skips up to the plate. Backhand by Buchanan, relays the pitch back. A couple of uncompetitive pitches. The count moves to 2-1. Matheson working primarily from the stretch. He's on the left side of the rubber, closest towards that left-handed batter's box. This next pitch rolled to Daniel Altman, right to where he was fielding at second base. He fires it to first. A sidearm toss for the first out of this top of the second inning. Big spinner, but the first out. And Tice Armstrong will step up to the plate for UT Arlington. One of 7 right-handed bats in this Mavericks lineup. 4 home runs on the year for the right-handed first baseman. First pitch he sees from Matheson, a slider that misses outside, 1-0. .257 hitter is Armstrong. Made a nice play in the field to open up that bottom of the first inning. Fastball at 93 is too low. That's ball 2. Umpire crew today: Clint Fagan behind the plate, Darren Hare at first, Mark Anthony Edwards at second base, and Matthew Martinez at third. Another fastball, highest velocity of the night for Matheson, but he skips it up to the plate at 94. It's 3-0 to Armstrong. Walk numbers have risen for Matheson since last year. He was one of the most reliable strike throwers, but he finds himself in a 3-0 count here. Called strike 1 to Tice Armstrong on the inside corner. Armstrong moved 1 foot towards first base before the powerful arm of Clint Fagan behind the plate called it strike 1. Matheson ties the glove to the belt, fires away, outside corner, strike 2. Armstrong took 2 steps towards first this time, practically jogging out of the batter's box. He's called right back there as back-to-back called strikes have even this count up at 3-2. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Matheson bounces back with 3 straight fastballs, and Tice Armstrong goes down on strikes, the first strikeout victim for Jared Matheson tonight.
It'll be huge if he can get Tice Armstrong quickly right here, Garrison Berkeley already got Tice Armstrong. So just to get out of this inning with just a few more pitches on the board, he's up to 25 right now. It'd be huge to get out of this second frame with under 30.
Berkeley, not necessarily the scariest batter you'll find. First pitch to him misses outside, ball 1. Hitting .195 on the year, 3 home runs, 2 stolen bases, 26 runs batted in. He's all the way back in the box as Matheson is in the mid-90s with his fastball. He throws one here, but backs away Berkeley as a tie and away. Rather high and in, it's 2-0. That was the 27th pitch of the afternoon for Matheson. He's got 1 2/3 under his belt and a 2-0 count at the plate. Next pitch, way too far outside. 3-0. Jared Matheson always out there looking like he's sunburnt or blushing on the face, and then those golden locks trickling out the back of the green hat. He rears back 92 miles an hour, but high and away for ball 4. So a couple of at-bats that have gone to 3-0. He was able to bounce back from that count to Armstrong, but unable to find the zone at all to Garrison Berkeley. And the 9-hitter with a little bit of life, JoJo Medellin, digs into the left-handed batter's box. And a couple of outs. Pick off towards first, diving back in there safely is Berkeley. Medellin just a 104 hitter, 5 hits on the year, 3 runs batted in. Again, he was inserted into the starting lineup for Kaysen Gregory, that being a late scratch. Changed maybe 15, 30 minutes before first pitch. This next one skips up to the plate, runner goes, and they're going to say that one hit Medellin. don't know if I saw that. It looked like it just bounced in the dirt and then maybe ricocheted off of him. He's jogging down there like it's a free pass, and nonetheless, they're going to give it a hit by pitch. It bounced up to the plate, but then it hit off the shin, I think, of Medellin.
Yeah, it had to have grazed. Looks like, right underneath that right knee. Must have just barely grazed him. And it was a really pretty great block by Braden Buchanan. Normally you see a catcher maybe slide over to get that one. He kind of had to lunge to his right. Didn't have enough time to slide over because the pitch looked like it was maybe set to go low and outside based on where Buchanan was lined up against the left-handed hitter. But yeah, this is a tough situation here. Now James Leverton will go out to the mound to talk things over with Matheson, Posey, Toplansky, and the catcher Buchanan. Try to calm the nerves, not focus too much on the runners on first and second because, we just mentioned it a few seconds ago. He was at 25 pitches, 2 outs, nobody on, and now he's worked himself into some trouble. So here's some of the issues that we've seen Matheson get into that have prevented him from going too far in games this year.
Couple of walks and a couple of hit by pitches so far for Matheson, but he's yet to forfeit a base hit. His first pitch to the leadoff hitting designated hitter Moreno is swung on and missed for strike one. He walked Moreno to open up this ball game, and then the designated hitter was out on a fielder's choice a batter later. Next pitch on the way, skips up to the plate. It's 1-1. That was 95 miles an hour from the fastball, so Matheson maybe focusing more on putting a little more extra spin on the pitch rather than location. 1-1. Inside corner. That one gets a strike call at 94. 1-2. Slight shift towards the right side as Daniel Altman is 5 feet to the right of his normal second base position, and Cole Posey is tight to the first base line. Pitch on the way. Check swing. It's in the dirt. Home plate umpire says he went. That'll be strike number 3 as a perfect block from Braden Buchanan halts any progress. Well, to the bottom of the second inning, Matheson leaves him stranded. It's still Baylor 2-0 on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Back to business for the Baylor Bats. Bottom third of the order is going to get their first swing at things, that being Cade Fletcher, Tariq Kemp, and Braden Buchanan. Top half of the lineup, or I guess you could say the middle of the lineup, Cole Posey, Daniel Altman, and Hunter Toplansky, tallying 3 hits, 2 runs on 3 consecutive pitches. A base hit for Posey, a double for Altman, and a single for Hunter Toplansky. First pitch to Cade Fletcher misses outside, ball 1. Fletcher, a .250 hitter. He's been inserted in the starting lineup after Wesley Jordan took a pitch to the helmet on Friday night against West Virginia. Haven't seen him since. Swinging here, ground ball to third. Going down to a knee is Bethel. He'll fire it across the diamond and beat Fletcher there by a half a step for the first out of the inning. Wasn't hit particularly hard, but Bethel just wanting to make sure that one finds the glove instead of skipping anywhere else, avoiding a bad hop. Goes down to a knee, steps up, takes his time, and gets the out at first. So we don't have an update, again, on Wesley Jordan. It is going to be Cade Fletcher for the time being. Check with Thompson, and head coach Mitch Thompson, and get an answer on that, I'm sure, by tomorrow or Thursday. First pitch to Tariq Kemp, the 8 hitting shortstop, misses low and in, ball 1. Kemp hitting .242, and he's found his swing later here in this season. It's been Big 12 play that's really jolted the emergence of Tariq Kemp. Next pitch he sees, finds the outside corner, and Kemp out there, he shuffled towards home plate, all the way back, and now he steps back to the box. 1-1 pitch. Swing, dribbler down the first base line, skipped up in foul territory. 1-2.
There's a very bright light across the river there in right center field. I don't know if someone's trying to, distract the players right now, but it's distracting me because that is bright.
I can't see it.
Well, now it's gone.
Oh, okay. The 2-1 pitch, rather the 1-2 pitch, hit down the left field line. This one heading towards the bleachers, giving it a chase as the left fielder, and he sees this one hit foul territory. It was playable. Initially, it looked like it may find the seats, but the left fielder, Ellis, running all the way towards the wall, and he overcommitted. The ball bounced behind his head in foul territory. Another breath of life for Tariq Kemp.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's too much wind. The flag in center field's blowing kind of towards right center field, but clearly, overjudged by the left fielder, Ryan Ellis, and he overran it, had a chance at it, too.
Right side of the infield is on the outfield grass. Next pitch is dribbled towards short by Kemp. He's on his horse trying to beat it out. The throw from the shortstop, Medellin, is in time for out number 2. Not a hustle from Tariq Kemp, but an even better defensive play for Medellin. Not a particularly hard-hit ball, similar to Cade Fletcher's, but stout defense to retire the second out of the inning.
Yeah, not an easy task to get Tariq Kemp running up that first baseline, especially a ball hit deep in the hole like that. Nice play by Medellin.
First pitch to the freshman catcher, Braden Buchanan, finds the outside corner for strike 1. Buchanan really got his name out there last week. Triple and a double in that game. A couple of runs batted in. He's waiting back, takes this pitch outside for ball 1. We'll mention that UT Arlington coming into this game is second in college baseball, averaging less than 3 walks a game. So that's something to keep an eye on, while Matheson, on the other hand, is giving away 4 free passes. Dribbler towards short from Buchanan, a 3-hopper. Throw is skipped to first. Buchanan rounds the first base bag. He'll head to second. A bad throw by the shortstop, Medellin. It was a 2-hopper. He took it while stepping backwards and then kind of crow-hopped forward and just skipped the ball on the infield grass, and it got away from the first baseman, Armstrong, rolled all the way to the dugout, and by the time that the first baseman, Armstrong, found it, Buchanan was standing on second.
Yeah, the shortstop, JoJo Medellin, he's going to get charged with an error right there, but you can make an argument that it should go to Tate Bethel, the third baseman, who kind of thought he had a play on that ball and then at the last second put the brakes on, and I think that messed up Medellin's throw a little bit.
Medellin keeping Buchanan honest at second as Apodaca swings first pitch, foul territory, third base line. Looking for it is the third baseman, Bethel, and he finds it into the glove despite the cheers from Baylor fans. We'll head to the third inning. Baylor still on top 2-0. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Baylor, 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1 0. 1
Jared Matheson returns to the mound for his third inning of work. It's been a rocky ride for Matheson. He hasn't given up a base hit yet, Joe, but 2 hit-by pitches, 2 walks, and he's already faced 10 batters through these first couple of innings.
Going to be really important to try to keep that pitch count low, but mainly throw strikes. 19 balls to 15 strikes so far for 34 total. Now a chance again against this middle of the lineup, top of the lineup for UT Arlington. So this is going to be a really important inning for Matheson.
We've seen Matheson work deep into ball games as his first pitch to Ryan Black finds the strike zone. 0-1 count. But it's been 3-4 inning appearances this year when he gets his name called, but he did have a start last year against SFA where he went 7 scoreless innings. So he has that potential when he is firing on all cylinders. Skips this one up to the plate 1-1, but he just hasn't been all that today. And Mitch Thompson has not been one to let pitchers, whether it be a starter or reliever, remain out there on the mound when they don't have their A-plus stuff. And it's not necessarily all working for Matheson right now. 1-1 pitch, too far away. That one forcing Braden Buchanan to practically throw the glove at it into the opposite batter's box. He snags it, counts 2-1.
Well, if you're Mitch Thompson, you got to appreciate, no hits through those first 2 innings. So while he's not being able to throw strikes, he is keeping it away from the Mavericks batters.
Black will line this one to deep center field, rather deep left center field. Ranging over is the left fielder Fletcher. He reels it in for the first out of the inning. Fletcher kind of raising his arms a little bit and shrugging. Didn't see that one initially off the bat. And as we mentioned, Joe, the wind's not really blowing or messing with the ball, but the humidity is so high that any little wind gust could tail the ball left to right, back even. And so it's been a tough read for outfielders and even the third baseman, Tate Bethel, in that bottom of the second inning on the foul pop-up. First pitch here from Matheson hits off the helmet of Tyson Pointer. That's the second time he's been hit today.
Yeah, now taking 6 on the year. It's not like he's one of those guys who's always drawing hit by pitches and automatically you're going to get a visit from the trainer whenever you get hit in the head with a pitch. But just a scary sight to see. He does have that shield that extends over his right cheek and his mouth there. So luckily, he's okay. It's a great hitter in that middle of the lineup. 322, 508 slugging, so clearly a guy who wants to step up and swing it, and not someone you want to put on the base paths unforced, as he's struck out 45 times this year, a team lead.
And I will mention,
one shy of the team lead, I should say.
That's a right-handed batter. Jared Matheson, when he pitches, he's got half of his foot on the rubber, the other half not on, and he's favoring that left-handed batter's box. He's on the right side of the mound, which is closest to that left-handed box and towards first base. His first pitch here, runner goes. Buchanan pop fire to second. Close timing, but the ball skips away from Kemp and rolls into center field. A nice fake out by Tariq Kemp, though, holding his glove on Porter, who was at second, so that he wouldn't notice the ball rolled into center field. So the runner stays there. It will be a stolen base, nothing further.
Yeah, I would have liked maybe a pickoff attempt towards first there. Someone on the pitch comm maybe should have relayed that information because he had a massive lead over there. Could tell he was jumpy and ready to go for second.
Big lead at second base here now as the next pitch to Ryan Ellis finds the outside corner, 1-1. But more on Matheson's control issues as he's closer to first base than anywhere else when standing on that rubber. But he's missing way behind right-handed batters. He'll pick off towards second base, and he nearly throws this one past Tariq Kemp into center field. Kemp going down a full Superman to snag that one. It was almost thrown towards the normal shortstop position while Tariq Kemp was standing behind the second base bag. Matheson has the ball back, though. He's set at the belt, stares home, fires away. In there, strike number 2. Ryan Ellis already 0 for 1, a fly out to Enzo Apodaca in the warning track in the first inning. Did so with runners on first and second, but that advanced them to second and third. 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. That one hit off the top of Braden Buchanan's glove. Had the opportunity to put leather on that one and shut down Ellis with a strikeout, but enough topspin to roll off the top of that glove. Short lead at second base for Pointer. 1 out already in this top of the third. Matheson looks to second, now checks home. High leg kick, pitch on the way, swing and a miss at the breaking ball. Matheson took something off of it, and the ball just tailed away from the barrel of the bat. Sinks under it, that's the second out of the inning. Parker Earhart, who's also 0 for 1 with a fly out to Enzo Apodaca in right field, now digs in as for the third consecutive inning, Jared Matheson looks to get out of trouble with runners in scoring position without allowing a base hit. He's set at the belt, pitch on the way, fly ball right field, foul territory out of play. It's 0-1. Shift favoring the left side of the infield. Hunter Toplansky at third is hugging the third base line, and Tariq Kemp at short. Heels on the outfield grass. Pitch on the way, dribbled off the ankle of Earhart. It's way too early on the pitch and just saws himself off. Being early on an inside pitch is not fun, especially when you can just get that handle out. Wasn't able to barrel it up, so a stinger on the hands and then also smacks it off his right ankle. 0-2 to Earhart. Runner goes. Pitch skips up to the plate. Braden Buchanan keeping it in front is a great jump by Pointer. Has him at third base standing. But he sticks around there. Doesn't head home. 1-2 the count to Earhart with a runner on third now. Couple of stolen bases this inning for Tyson Pointer. Matheson doesn't look to third, although the runner's jumpy. Lifts the leg, fires home. He skips it past Braden Buchanan. It rolls all the way to the backstop. And don't look now, but the wild pitch forces Parker Earhart home. Mitch Thompson in the dugout. He shakes his head, and he's walked all the way back to the bench. He cannot believe it. 2 stolen bases, and then a wild pitch, as Jared Matheson has had zero control, whether it be the fastball, the breaking ball, or one of his 2 breaking balls. Rocks a slider and a changeup, but he just hasn't had the grip, early release point, and that one, it skipped on the outside of the left-handed batter's box. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, but a pitch too late. That will retire the inning, but a run does come across after a wild pitch. Jared Matheson shrugs his shoulders and walks off with his head hanging low. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. Baylor with a little bit more work to do to grab insurance. They do lead this ball game 2-1, though. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com. And click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
UTA put their first run of the ball game on the board in the top of the third inning, although they still don't have a hit. 1 run, no hits, 1 error. For the Mavericks, for the Bears, it's been 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Those 3 hits coming off of 3 straight pitches, 3 back-to-back-to-back pitches in the first inning from the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Baylor. That's Cole Posey, Daniel Albin, and Hunter Toplansky. You're guaranteed to see 2 of which step up to the plate in this inning, as the 2-hitter Ty Johnson leads off the frame. Before the first pitch, we're going to see Aaron Calhoun step off the back of the rubber, kind of just sigh. Johnson wasn't even in the batter's box by the time Calhoun was set, but both players on the same page, and the first pitch of the inning underway. It's a fastball on the low inside corner, finds the zone, 0-1. Ty Johnson, a fly out to rather a hard-hit line out to center field in his first at-bat. Waits back on this pitch, but it misses outside. A breaking ball as Ty Johnson's all the way back in the box. He kind of had to watch it as it floated through the air. Digs back in. Calhoun set. Pitch on the way. Line drive first base side. Foul territory. 103.6 miles an hour off the bat of Ty Johnson as it's roped down the right field line. It'll go as the second strike of the at-bat. It's 1-2. Joe, for a guy that came in with 18 strikeouts and 18 walks, Calhoun has certainly looked like someone who does not have problems finding the strike zone. His pitch here just misses the outside corner at 78 miles an hour. A curveball that probably could have got the call but didn't. It's 2-2. Mentioned his strikes tonight. He's thrown 21 strikes and only missed 9 times in 30 pitches. More than 70% have gone for strikes as this pitch is roped down the first base line. Just foul for Johnson.
He's been all over these pitches from Calhoun, though. As mentioned earlier, 1-for-1 against him on April 16th, and then the fly out or line out, I guess, to straightaway center field. So hopefully Johnson can straighten what out here. It would be a good start to respond after UTA just got their first run of the ball game.
The .312 hitter digs in. All the way back in the box, crowding the plate. Pitch on the way. Bouncing ball towards second. It takes 3 hops, but it finds the glove of back. He'll swing it sidearm towards first. And Armstrong finds it in the heel of the glove for the first out of the inning. Ty Johnson runs well out of the left-handed batter's box, but just didn't have enough on it. It's a pretty hard-hit ground ball towards second base on a couple of hops, and no chance for Ty Johnson to beat it out at first. Cole Posey digs in. He's 1-for-1 with a single. Started that 2-run first inning. With 2 outs in that frame, we'll add. First pitch to him finds the inside corner, 0-1. Since Posey was inserted into the starting lineup on April 5th against Incarnate Word, he leads the team with a .396 batting average. Waits back, hits this one to deep right center field. This is going to chase the center fielder all the way back to the wall. It's out of here! Cole Posey points to the stars. He's got a home run on the Brazos. Over the Georges sign in right center field. Stay hot 6. His 3rd home run in 2 games. His first collegiate multi-homer game on Sunday, and he punches one over the fence tonight.
Knox's 5th of the season. Now we're going to have a pause from the training staff, one of the members of the UTA training staff out there in center field to tend to Garrison Berkeley, who slammed into the wall in right center. One that just barely got out of here, but it just kept on carrying off the bat of Cole Posey. I mean, how well has he been seeing this ball in recent games these past few weeks since getting back into the lineup, as you were just mentioning it, and right on cue, Knox's 5th of the season, propelling him up in the team rankings as well. Let's take a look. He now sits at tied for 2nd on the team with Enzo Apodaca, 5 homers.
Only chasing Wesley Jordan, who has 7?
That's right. But also, Posey has done it in so much fewer games, making it that much more impressive. Just his 16th start today.
16th start, 25th game overall. His pitch misses outside to Daniel Altman, 1-0. But, of course, all those 9 games where he wasn't starting, it was just a pinch hit opportunity here and maybe as a defensive replacement. 1-0 pitch, misses outside again. Daniel Altman takes the upper hand at 2-0. He doubled in a run on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Streaky hitter is Altman, but looks like he's on the hot end of the spectrum here. Another pitch on the outside half of the plate. This one does find the strike zone. It's 2-1. Calhoun is set at the belt. High leg kick fires home, inside corner for strike 2. .375 on base for percentage. That's the highest of Daniel Altman's career, and this really his first season in a starting role. Pitch to the plate, misses low and away, 3-2. But he stepped up big time. He was not expected to see a whole lot of field, but making the best of that opportunity after Jack Little went down early in the year, and Cole Posey, who's now at first, had arm issues. He hits this one to deep center field. Grimes heading back to the warning track. He now sizes it up, and with his back against the wall, he shuts Daniel Altman out. No matter how long and hard that ball was hit, it's still out number 2.
Yeah, I mean, if he put that on the same trajectory that Cole Posey did, we would have had back-to-back homers. So, given a ride all the way out to that 400-foot marker in deep center, it's a really deep ballpark for college baseball for sure. I think 330 down either line. They're not MLB parks that are that far in the corners.
Hunter Toplansky will dig in and watch a first pitch strike hit the inside corner. He'll sigh a little bit, shrug the shoulders, now dig back in with an 0-1 count. Calhoun working quickly now after getting that second out of the inning. With confidence, delivers another fastball that Toplansky shoots to left field. This one will find the grandstand, and a couple of young Baylor baseball fans will chase down the ball before it skips down the steps. 0-2 count. Baylor band out here today. They're the ones being loud and encouraging Hunter Toplansky as the 280 hitter digs back in. Switch hitter hitting from the left side against the right-handed arm. Fouls the next pitch he sees straight back into the netting.
Yeah, even without instruments, they still make noise.
Who'd have thought?
Super fans.
They are indeed, and it's been a nice spark. A lot of fans for this midweek Baylor game. Pitch on the way. Shallow fly ball, center field. Shortstop chasing all the way back. This one will drop in between short and center, and Hunter Toplansky has a base hit. JoJo Medellin called off the center fielder Berkeley. As Garrison Berkeley was racing in, he was playing very deep, probably 380 feet back. That one bounced in between the pair of them as Medellin went into a slide to try and grab that. I would think that if that's over your shoulder, you maybe try and dive forward. Almost halted his progress and prevented him from making a play. Won't go as an error or anything. It is a base hit for Hunter Toplansky, his second of the ball game. Gives some life to R.J. Ruwe with Toplansky on first. First pitch to the DH, a high fly ball on the infield. This one right back to Medellin. He's got a chance to right his wrong. He now steps back. He loses it, goes down to his shoulder, and makes the play. He lost sight of that ball as it danced up in the air, but ends up finding it out. It'll be an infield pop-up to end the inning, but the Bears add another on the Cole Posey home run. We head to the fourth inning. Baylor on top 3-1. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Well, Baylor fans got to experience the dizzy bat race in between the third and fourth inning, and the Baylor band certainly enjoyed watching that one. featured 3 college students for the first time this year, put their forehead on a metal bat, run around it about 10 times, and then race to the finish line. And during the race, it was like this band was betting on horses. They were cheering for one guy, and once the announcement came over the loudspeakers from the PA that their guy had won, there was pure celebration.
A louder explosion than that Cole Posey home run we saw just a few minutes ago. And they even stood up right after that, started the Let's Go Baylor chant. I mean, any way to get an electric crowd in here, I'm all for it, because this band, without the instruments, they're equally as loud in the crowd, and they're sitting just right in front of us. So hopefully some fans at home are able to hear some of that. Hopefully not too much of it, though.
Yeah, you get a front row seat to the chatter, but you don't necessarily want to be the one who it sounds like is getting harped on.
No.
But
and that's every single batter for UT Arlington.
It has been so far. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. As you can hear the chants. Freddie. He's the one who won that wooden bat race. Maybe they'll let him keep the jersey. No, he'll take it off now. Anyways, Jared Matheson is done for the day. He's relieved by Tanner Duke, who will work this 4th inning. From the stretch, his first pitch zones in at 93, but misses low, ball 1. Matheson's day ends after 3 innings pitched, where he struck out 4 batters, but if it was all that good, what's the red flag? Well, he walked 2, and he hit 3 more batters. 5 free passes, did not allow a base hit, did allow a run. It will go as earned, since he was the one who allowed the wild pitch. Duke will bounce back with a strike to Bethel. Working quickly, here's the 1-1 pitch. Hit towards short. Tariq Kemp's going to watch this one zone into the left field grass. Quick and hard hit base hit for Tate Bethel. That's going to set the tone here in the top of the 4th inning, as Tanner Duke is tagged with a base knock, with Tice Armstrong digging in with a runner on first.
Yeah, well, you just brought it up right on cue again. UT Arlington gets that first hit of the game in the 4th inning here, so a good outing from Matheson to keep them off the paths, but that's a really nice start for them, the Mavericks, to get things going.
First pitch to Armstrong. Oh, no. The control issues are all around as that one hits the backside of Armstrong. 2 pitches. On these last 2 pitches, it's been a base hit and a hit by pitch. 4th time a Baylor pitcher has hit a batter today, and there's nothing Mitch Thompson can do but sigh. He throws his hands on his head. He just took a walk about halfway through the dugout before returning to his normal spot, leaning against the fence right next to, closest towards home plate. He's got that front row seat, if you will. First pitch to Berkeley is lined to center field. Chased back is Johnson. He'll catch it. Relay throw in. It'll go to second base. Daniel Altman has it. Bethel tags from second to third, but Armstrong forced to remain at first base.
Yeah, well, the good thing there is you were able to get a quick out. Just 5 pitches into this for Tanner Duke. You got runners on the corners with 1 out. Hopefully, you're just trying to throw strikes here against Jodo Medellin. And if you're able to get a double play, that would be huge to not have to face the top of the order here with runners on and the Mavericks threatening. But let's see what they can dial up here, and maybe we'll get a bunt situation by Medellin.
Medellin all the way in the front of the box. He rears back, takes the first pitch. It misses outside, 1-0. Well, one of the knocks against Tanner Duke, he throws it hard. He can hit that 95, 96 mile an hour mark, but he's forfeited 9 extra base hits, 4 of which leaving the yard, and he's more of a fly ball pitcher than a ground ball guy, but we'll see if we can get one in the situation. Slide step, sidearm throw. This one chases the left fielder, Cade Fletcher, to the left field line. He makes the play, runner tagging. He'll relay it to Kemp, but there will be no throw home, as Bethel will tag from third to home and score the second run of the ball game for UTA. Small ball here for the Mavericks, as a couple of flyouts just allow a runner from second base to advance 180 feet and score a run.
Yeah, absolutely. Just not trying to do too much, making really good, solid contact. Have to appreciate the way Maverick batters are able to evade the strikeout.
First pitch to J.D. Moreno. Misses outside, 1-0. Moreno 0 for 1, a walk and then a strikeout. This is his third at bat as he's up in the top of the 4th inning. Tanner Duke set at the belt. He fires one as if he were pitching towards first base. Cole Posey goes into a catcher-like return, as that one was too hot to snag with his palm facing the pitcher. Runners back in there safely, though, and the 1-0 pitch will now be delivered to the plate. Slide step, sidearm fling. Shallow fly ball, left field. Cade Fletcher has it tied up, and he makes the play. Saw it from the bat, and one run will come across on the first base hit of the ball game, but Baylor still holds a one-run advantage. It's 3-2 Baylor. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
It'll be the end of the road for Aaron Calhoun. He went 3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned. Struck out 1, did not walk a batter. It was the first outing of the year for Aaron Calhoun that he did not allow a free pass. Did find a strikeout, and the Bears will now be facing a left-handed pitcher in Cade McGlade. That's a heck of a baseball name.
Yeah, not bad. Aaron Calhoun got through his 11th appearance, 11th start of the season, 3 innings pitched, and going into this outing had allowed 5 homers. That's really been an issue for him this year, giving up the long ball. He gave up his 6th an inning ago against Cole Posey, and now the bottom half of this lineup will try to get things going against Cade McGlade.
Well, what we can tell you is that Clay Van Hook is not like Mitch Thompson in the way he switches out pitchers, as the left-handed arm is going to come in and face Cade Fletcher, a righty, Tariq Kemp, a lefty, and then Braden Buchanan, a righty. I feel like Thompson would have just let it ride against Fletcher and then go to the bullpen against Kemp to get the left on left. Anyway, the first pitch of the at-bat found the outside corner for strike 1 on Fletcher. McGlade enters the ballgame with a 2.60 ERA. His next pitch bounces up to the plate, 1-1. 17 1/3 innings worked. He's given up 16 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 6, and struck out 14. Works from the windup. Breaking ball here, inside corner, strike 2.
Yeah, they're in a similar spot, too, as UT Arlington in a must-win situation, sitting at a record of it's 18-26, so definitely needing to get wins any way you can.
Cade Fletcher will pimp the next one foul.
So I think that's why you're seeing a guy with a 2.60 ERA being your first man out of the pen in a midweek game.
Yeah, just finding someone, getting them their comfortability, a little bit of action before the weekend. Keep them warm. From the windup, the left-hander deals. Fletcher will shallowly hit this one to right field, but it will escape to the Baylor berm. And a young fan will chase after the ball as it rolls all the way back to the fence. 1-2, still the count for Cade Fletcher, and after McGlade got the ball back, he just instantly went back to the windup. Now he deals a curveball that slips out of the fingers and misses way too high. Evens up the count at 2-2. First at bat for Fletcher came in the second inning when he grounded out to third. Led off that inning. He leads off this one with a pop-up on the infield. Chasing after it, the second baseman Black. His feet are on the outfield grass, and he finds it in the back of the glove. That's a couple of infield pop-outs. The last 2 batters, if you go back to R.J. Rue's pop-out to end the third inning, that have just kind of eaten up the middle infielders. They see it. They think they know where it is. I mean, Black was on the infield, and by the time that ball was on the way down, he was 4 or 5 steps deep in the outfield grass.
Yeah, I think you're kind of seeing it in all areas of the field. A couple down the left field line, too, where the fielders have ran a bit too far to the left towards the chalk line and had to backtrack.
Left on left. First pitch to Tariq Kemp, a fly ball, center field, and Garrison Berkeley only has to move 4 or 5 steps to his right, and he makes the play for out number 2. 102 miles an hour off the bat of Tariq Kemp. Good reactions from Berkeley, and not much more Tariq Kemp could have done to put that ball in play. A hard hit ball. As his hard hit percentage has to be north of 500. Or rather, I guess we could say 50% in his past couple of weeks of play. First pitch to Braden Buchanan finds the inside corner for strike 1. He reached on an error in the second inning, but Baylor wasn't able to capitalize on that. Next pitch he sees bounces up to the plate, evens it up at 1-1. Cade McGlade, the left-hander on the mound, a big reason why UTA is second in the NCAA with 2.92 walks allowed a game, second lowest. Buchanan will rip this one down the third base line in foul territory. It tucks and stays foul, so the count stays at 1-2 with a couple of outs in the frame. Offensive production been lacking a little bit since a couple of weeks back when it read Posey, Kemp, Castle. Buchanan chases this one. The throw to first on the drop third strike will retire the Baylor catcher. A 1-2-3 inning. First 1-2-3 inning worked by UTA as we head to the 5th inning. Baylor still on top 3-2. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Top of the 5th inning at Baylor Ballpark. Not quite stretch time, but boy, do I need a good stretch. It's humid out here. It is hot, and I'd say this is the hottest it's been at Baylor Ballpark all year. It's 83, and it is 7:42 local time, yet the humidity is making it feel a whole lot hotter than the 81 degrees it reads on the thermometer. It's helping the ball fly, though, as Cole Posey hit a home run in the 3rd inning and a lot of good outcomes for Baylor. They currently lead this ball game 3-2. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Baylor, but 2 runs, 1 hit, and 1 error for UT Arlington, but it hasn't really been the pitching duel that it looks like from up there on the board, Joe. As Ryan Black, the 2-hitter, digs in, first pitch to him, dribbled towards the UTA dugout, foul ball, 0-1.
Yeah, it's been a good job by these pitchers to work their way out of innings. Saw Tanner Duke do it an inning ago where we were just talking about it during the break. You know, he did give up a run, gave up a hit by pitch and a hit, but really not too bad of an inning.
From the wind-up pitch, outside corner, strike 2.
I mean, that was just the 11th pitch he's thrown today, and to allow 2 base runners to start off your outing is not the way any pitcher wants to start off their relief outing, but a nice job by Duke to battle back.
0-2 pitch. Fly ball, shallow center field. Ty Johnson racing in. He's on his horse, puts the glove up, finds it, can of corn. He retires. Ryan Black for the first out of the inning.
And that's some pretty good sequencing there from Duke. He goes low and outside in the first few pitches and then tries to jam him inside, and he does so perfectly. One that Black can't really do too much with, a little flare into center field.
Right fielder Tyson Pointer digs in with his potentially first at bat. He crowds the plate a lot, which has been the reason he's been a victim of back-to-back hit by pitches. This first pitch, though, it finds the outside half of home plate for the first strike of the count, 0-1. Tanner Duke sighs, brings the glove in front of his face, behind the head, to the belt. Pitch on the way, outside corner, too low, though, 1-1. Pointer's a .322 hitter. We mentioned it earlier on. 45 strikeouts on the year, so Baylor just looking to put the ball in the zone, which they have not done yet to him. He'll chop this one foul down the third baseline. Pushes the count to 1-2. Tanner Duke was the initial midweek starter for Baylor. That's his role at the beginning of the year, now working in relief. His 1-2 fouled off Buchanan, keeping the count locked in there. But he's done a pretty nice job of recent just getting through multiple innings. Usually it's just 2. Keeping a little bit of the load off the bullpen and trying to get back to that starting pitcher duty. High leg kick pitch on the way. Foul tip off to the glove of Buchanan. That's a couple of pitches that if he just holds on to, maybe a little bit more experience reading the pitch movement, he would have been able to find that strikeout. Duke sets at the belt. Black glove pinned up against it. Now he brings it up to the chin behind the back, and the pitch is delivered. Ground ball towards short. Tariq Kemp waiting on it. Crowhop fired to first overhand, and that will retire Tyson Pointer. He was beat by a step and a half at first base. Cole Posey with the stretch there. That's a couple of quick outs. As you had mentioned, Joe, just keep the pitch count low, and we'll see how far Tanner Duke can continue riding.
And right there, a good job to keep Tyson Pointer off the base paths. Just his first official at-bat of the day, but we already seen what he can do when he gets on.
Big cut from Ryan Ellis as he chases one up the ladder, 0-1. Ellis is without a hit today. A flyout and a strikeout. 0-1 pitch is fouled straight back out of play, straight behind us in the broadcast booth, and likely into Getterman Stadium, which sits right behind Baylor Ballpark. Duke one strike away from getting out of the inning. 0-2, fly ball, right field. Enzo Apodaca chasing it in, but he'll let it drop at his feet. It'll be a 2-out, 2-strike single for Ryan Ellis, and the inning is alive for the Mavericks here in the top of the fifth.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there. Turned on one to put it over the infield. Apodaca maybe was able to have a play on it, but then it quickly died down in front of him. Wisely to just let it drop in front. Don't want to try to make a miraculous play. 2 outs with nobody on in the inning. Now just 1 out still to get against Parker Earhart.
As Duke comes set, he squats down, now brings the glove to the chest, fires home, outside corner, called strike 1. That was the breaking ball. We haven't seen a whole lot of that from Tanner Duke today. He's been relying on the changeup and the fastball. That looked more like a slider there as it hit 79, the lowest velocity pitch he's thrown today. Slide step, over top delivery. It's a 1-1 count as that one missed high. Talked about it earlier on in the season, but it's an easy read for when Tanner Duke throws a certain pitch. If he's throwing it over the top of the shoulder, it's a fastball, and if it's coming in sidearm, it's likely a breaking pitch. As he slings it to first base to try and keep Ellis respectful over there. He's in there safely, 1-1. Still the count on Parker Earhart, the team leader in home runs with 10. He did strike out in his last at-bat. He watches another breaking ball hit the outside corner as the delivery was indeed sidearm. It's 1-2. A little bit more chattering from the band. Significantly dies while Baylor's in the field, though. Before the 1-2 pitch, a pickoff move towards first, as Tanner Duke will try and get back on the same page with Braden Buchanan about how they want to attack Earhart with a couple of strikes on him. He's set the 1-2 pitch on the way. Nope. Pickoff towards first as Cole Posey leaps and snags that one out of the air. Now one band member just saying, throw to the plate. Chanting at Tanner Duke. I don't think that's the support he needs. He'll slide step fire home. Chest high fastball misses high, 2-2. Takes a breath, circles the rubber. Now stamps the back foot against it. Bends their left knee. Comes set. Runner goes. Pitch on the way. Too far outside. Buchanan, a great jump. Great pop. Lands the tag. And Daniel Altman landed it right on the ankle. Ellis is caught stealing. Although the pitch missed, the Bears found a way to get out of the inning. No runs come across as the Mavericks tallied their second hit of the ball game. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Baylor's on top 3-2, and from here on out, Joe Pratt takes the play-by-play. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Bottom of the fifth inning on Baylor Lariat Radio. We thank you for tuning in to Baylor Lariat Radio for game 43 of this season for the Bears, and we are bringing you baseball in the bottom of the fifth inning on the Brazos. Enzo Apodaca, the top of the lineup, will lead things off for the Bears, currently leading this game 3-2, although they haven't scored any runs since that bottom of the third inning. Cade McGlade is the pitcher, has the glove in front of his face, and the wind-up delivery pitch is up and inside. Ball one to Enzo Apodaca. That was the 13th pitch of the game so far from Cade McGlade. He's relieving Aaron Calhoun, who went 3 frames, gave up 3 earned runs and 5 hits. Next pitch caught the zone right around the knees of Apodaca. It's 1-1.
Cade McGlade really rolls off the tongue.
It really does. The 1-1 from McGlade bounces off the plate, 2-1.
If you don't believe me, listeners, you just have to try it a couple of times. Cade McGlade. In any way.
Get some practice. And Cade McGlade, number 27, the 2-1. Up and inside. Apodaca had to pinch the hands to his chest. And with that all red-barreled bat, steps back. It's 3-1. 88 miles an hour from Cade McGlade. I feel like we have to say his first and last name every single time.
McGlade doesn't cut it anymore.
Nope. Cade McGlade, 3-1. Fastball cut on and missed, one that was beneath the knees of Enzo Apodaca. 87 miles an hour, and it's run full. McGlade's making his 13th appearance on the season. The infield playing straight up, maybe a little bit shifted to the right. From the windup, the 3-2 pitch. Apodaca rolls it on the ground towards second. Ryan Black, an easy play to first, up with it, and that's a 4-3 putout to start off this bottom of the fifth.
It's been a rough stretch for Enzo Apodaca. He had a 16-game hitting streak snapped last weekend, or a couple of weekends ago, against Kansas, and since then he's only mustered 4 base hits in his previous 5 ball games. It sounds pretty good, like 4 hits in 5 games. All right, you can handle that, but this is a guy who was getting used to multi-hit games every other day.
First pitch to Ty Johnson is right down the middle, strike one. Yeah, over 9 multi-hit games, maybe up to 10 at this point, but I have to get the numbers to you on that. Clearly leads the team easily. Next pitch bounces in the righty batter's box. Ty Johnson steps back. It's 1-1. Johnson hits from the left side, batting at a .310 clip, 49 hits on the season. Still looking for that first homer, though. Waving that silver bat over his left shoulder. Here it comes. Fastball, too high. 2-1. 21st pitch from Cade McGlade. His last appearance was at Texas just a few days ago. That was their last midweek game, actually. Next pitch ties up Ty Johnson, and he rolls it towards the UTA dugout on the first base side, 2-2.
Update on the number 17, multi-hit games for Enzo Apodaca, including a 5-for-5
That's right.
game against BYU in that finale.
2-2 to Ty Johnson. The lefty takes up high at his batting helmet. It's 3-2. So the pitcher, Cade McGlade, just 14 pitches last week against Texas. That was a road game. They were not able to come away with the win. They lost it 11-0. 3-2. Johnson shoots it high down the left field line. It's going to twist out of play. Johnson is 0 for 2. Fly out to center. Ground out to second. And here's the 3-2 again. Jams him. Popped up on the infield and foul ground, giving chase to third baseman, but he's going to have to go back as that one rattles off the top of the netting and bounces towards the Baylor on-deck circle where Cole Posey stands, and he'll pick that baseball up. We'll do it again at 3-2. Good at-bat works here by Ty Johnson. He's worked 16 walks this season to 30 strikeouts. And an on-base percentage just beneath 400. Next pitch. High chopper right back at the pitcher. McGlade underhand flips to first after a few steps, and that's in time to get Ty Johnson there. 2 gone in the bottom of the 5th.
If Johnson hit that one a little bit less down the first baseline, he would have had a better shot at beating that one out, as he had to retreat out of the base path to allow the pitcher McGlade to the pitcher Cade McGlade to get over, scoop it up, and fire to first. Have to allow the pitcher room, otherwise Johnson might have made it a tighter play.
Lefty Cade McGlade fires, and this one's shot over the shortstop into left center field. That one's going to get back to the warning track. Cole Posey rounds first, headed for second. Still going, he's on his way to third. Ball relayed to the shortstop. The throw is offline. Head first dive, he's safe. A 2-out double, 2-out triple, I should say, for Cole Posey. To follow up that homer, improves the day to 3 for 3. A single in the first, homer in the third, and now in the 5th frame, a triple.
Well, I'll paint the picture about how ballsy it was to go for third for Posey. The relay throw was in midair and nearly in the shortstop, the cutoff man's hands, before he had even touched second base. As he rounded it, he's lucky that throw towards third skipped on the dirt, made it a tight play, and showed off the wheels. Double shy of the cycle.
Daniel Altman takes up an in 1-0. Yeah, absolutely. If Medellin, the shortstop, is able to put that on a line to the third baseman Bethel, I mean, that's likely the 3rd out of this inning. Doesn't matter, though. Cole Posey has a big lead and gets into his secondary at third. Next pitch misses low and outside. Cade McGlade falling back to 2-0. His 30th pitch is about to be thrown. He threw just 14 pitches, as mentioned last week. Comes set, black glove at his belt. From the stretch, the 2-0. Fastball ripped down the left field line, high and out of play. Altman, 271 hitter, no hits on Sunday and on Saturday, but a 2-hit game to start off the series at West Virginia. 2-1 pitch. Hit straight back into the net. He stays alive. It's 2-2.
Well, we'll keep this one tucked in the books, but the last cycle, as Cole Posey is a double shy of the cycle, was off the bat of Josh Ford against Texas Tech on May 23rd, 2004.
Wow. 2-2 off the end of the bat. Rolled towards second on the run. Ryan Black deep in the hole. He throws, and it's in time at first to get Cole Posey. So the run is stranded at third. That was Cole Posey. Daniel Altman made the out there at first. Posey hit his 3rd hit of the ball game, but was eventually left just 90 feet away. Bears still lead it 3-2 as we navigate into the top of the 6th frame. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Tanner Duke and the Bears take to the field in the top of the 6th inning. A 3-2 ball game. The Bears lead it. They'll be facing the 5, 6, and 7 batters in this order for UT Arlington, starting with Parker Earhart. He's 0 for 2, fly out to right field, a strikeout in the 3rd. And for the first time today, he'll be facing Tanner Duke, who now works into his 3rd inning of work if he's able to complete it. Brings the glove back behind his head and fires home. An off-speeder low and outside called strike 1. Earhart entering this game with 10 homers, a guy who can really make you pay if you let one float too high out over the plate. Next pitch misses low and inside, a grunt let out by Tanner Duke. But that was a 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball again, and it's 1-1. Infield playing straight up, both corner infielders about 5 to 10 feet off the lines. Middle infielders back, 1-1. On the outer edge, 1-2. Good start to the inning here from Duke. Parker Earhart struggled through the first 2 games at Houston this past weekend. He was 0 for 5. Next pitch misses low and outside, another breaking ball. So that's 4 straight breaking balls from Duke to Earhart here. And it's 2-2. He followed that up with a 2 for 4 day on Sunday. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and a 2-run homer. Next pitch misses low and outside, counts run full to Earhart.
That was the first fastball, and they're clearly keeping it away from Earhart. They don't want to give him a pitch inside, as he could put the barrel on that easily.
The payoff. Fastball roped down the left field line. Going to get to that all-metal grandstand in foul ground.
Tanner Duke absolutely missed his spot, and he is lucky that Earhart didn't get all of it. He got a lot of it, hit it 107 miles an hour off the bat, 93-mile-an-hour fastball in on the belt. Earhart just got his hands there a bit too quick.
Duke brings the glove in front of his face, now back in the wind-up throw. Called strike 3 on the outer corner. Went back to the fastball at 92, and Tanner Duke picks up his first strikeout of the evening.
The Duke returns, Joe. I mean, Tanner Duke has looked really good so far. A couple of strikeouts. Or rather, that was his first strikeout. But he's just been effective. He's not throwing too many pitches, and he's finding the strike zone. Even when he falls behind, he's bounced back well.
His next pitch is the first one to Tate Bethel. Misses low and outside. Right-handed swinging junior third baseman. He's 1 for 2 today. Singled his last time up. Was not able to reach his first time. It was a 4-3 putout. 1-1-1-0 pitch. Misses low. 2 balls, no strikes. Duke's last appearance came against West Virginia. That was the series opener. Didn't give up any hits, no runs. As that pitch found the zone, it's 2-1. 93 on the fastball from Duke. Has arm sleeves that go just out beyond either elbow. With the all-black glove, here comes the 2-1. Fastball too far outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Duke with 15 innings pitched so far on the year, and that's obviously as of today. And counting these outs, including that one we just saw, as the 3-1 pitch is coming. It's a fastball, hit straight back into center field. Ty Johnson racing back towards the wall, looking up. It's off the Big 12 logo, the batter's eye. Bounces back into medium depth center field. The runner's rounding second, headed for third. Tate Bethel has himself a triple. And the UT Arlington Mavericks will have a runner just 90 feet away. 1 run down with 1 gone in the top of the 6th.
Hunter Toplansky is a little bit frustrated with Daniel Altman for cutting off that throw. Initially, it looked like Johnson didn't have enough steam on it to get it from center field all the way to third, but as it turned out, it would have been a bang-bang play if Daniel Altman didn't cut it off. Toplansky would have had to scoop it out of the dirt, but it was put practically on the runner. He would have just had to snag it and throw down the tag.
Here's Tice Armstrong. Backs up out of the way of an up-and-in fastball at 91, 1-0. Bethel leads at third, puts on that royal blue oven mitt over the left hand. Duke is now working from the stretch on the first base side, the 1-0. Bounced in there, gets away from Buchanan. It'll get back to the batting circle. Luckily for Baylor, though, Bethel put the brakes on halfway down the third base line. Maybe even took a step or two, didn't even get halfway.
He hesitated quite a bit. He thought Braden Buchanan had smothered that, and his vision was blocked by Buchanan's legs. Didn't know the ball was so far behind him, but by the time he spotted it, Braden Buchanan was already almost at the baseball, and it would have been a caught stealing if he went all the way home.
righty-on-righty matchup with the corners creeping in. 2-0 pitch, shot on the ground towards the Baylor dugout. It hits off the railing. A couple of relievers there halfway up the dugout on the third base side had to quickly get out of the way. Looked like that was Will Glatch, Cole Stasio, who's currently injured.
Those are a couple of guys currently injured, and Will Glatch threw
both
hands up in the air. He's lucky that one hit off the railing, otherwise that would have pinned him straight in the chest. Nothing will take your breath away more.
Duke with the 2-0. Fastball, that hit Tice Armstrong right above his left hip, and it's going to go down as his second hit by pitch and as many ABs. So he's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout and 2 hit by pitches. Really racking up the hit by pitches are the Mavericks today. That's the
sixth of the game.
The 6th of the game, but 5th for, or is it the 6th for UTA?
6th for UTA, 2nd from Duke, 4 given up by Matheson before him.
First pitch to Garrison Berkeley, 8-man in the lineup, hitting 194. Takes at his knees, a breaking ball, strike 1.
No, you're right, Joe. That's the 5th. There was 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and now 1 here in the 6th inning.
0-1 pitch. Berkeley watches it go by, barely misses. Buchanan held it there for a couple seconds longer. The same pitch, it missed. It's 1-1. Bethel takes a lead at third, Armstrong at first, and that's where Duke's going to go before this 1-1 offering. It took Cole Posey off the bag, kind of down towards home plate. An uncontested throw there, just trying to keep the runner close with runners on the corners. Duke working from the stretch. Slide steps home, and the breaking ball missed low. 45th pitch from Duke. And it looks like currently nobody in that Baylor bullpen is warming up. Here comes the 46th as he comes set above his belt. The 2-1 to Berkeley. Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. Buchanan making his way back towards the backstop. Reaches over and he makes the catch. Had about 2 feet in foul ground to work with. Was able to flip the mask off and locate it in the dark skies amongst the lights, and there's 2 gone.
Mitch Thompson yelling from the Baylor dugout. He said, "Someone get to home plate," because for a moment Tanner Duke wasn't paying attention, and Braden Buchanan had the ball against the backstop. Once Buchanan threw the ball to Tanner Duke, he was just ready to walk to the mound with his head down, and Buchanan wasn't home. Luckily, you heard Thompson shouting, just stayed there as Buchanan had to call for time, get a new pitch comm as his flew out of the helmet. But everything's good. Runners remain on the corners, and a much-needed out. Great defensive play by Braden Buchanan to lose the helmet and find the baseball.
And now Mitch Thompson will walk out to the pitcher's mound, and he is going to make a pitching change. So somebody was warming up down there in the left field corner. It was a left-handed thrower. And with runners on the corners, we're going to have a mid-inning pitching change as the Bears have 2 outs currently on the Mavericks in the top of the 6th frame. Leading it 3-2. We'll take a quick break, let you know who the new pitcher is when we return. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
The new pitcher for the Bears entering in the top of the 6th frame. It's Kobe Andrade on to make his 18th appearance on the season, has thrown in 26 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 15 earned runs, 25 hits, 29 strikeouts to just 8 walks, fashioning an 0-2 record, a 5.06 ERA. He also has a pair of saves, and he'll be entering this game in the top of the 6th with runners on the corners, facing the 9th batter in the UTA lineup. It's JoJo Medellin, and he is 0 for 0 tonight. Sacrifice fly to center field, which scored a run. That was actually a sac fly to left field, and he was hit by a pitch in the second. So still looking for that first plate appearance or first at-bat of the game is Medellin, and it'll be against the lefty Kobe Andrade. Andrade, a guy who is coming off his most recent appearance at West Virginia. That was the Sunday game. 2 innings, he gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of which were earned, though. 1 walk to 1 strikeout. So a bit of a step back for him, for a guy who's been really reliable in this bullpen for the Bears. Solid outing in the midweek last week, gave up a couple of runs against Kansas, and also faced UT Arlington a few appearances ago. Went 1 1/3 innings, gave up a hit. Nothing doing other than that. Also 2 strikeouts. He comes set with the tan glove above his belt, facing Medellin. Right-handed swinger, tags it straight back and foul off of the netting. That'll giddy up over the canopy and towards the parking lot. So Medellin, as mentioned, a hit by pitch, a sacrifice fly. That won't do good here with 2 outs in the frame. Hard hit on the ground towards Daniel Altman. He bobbles it for a second, picks it up, though, and throws to first in time by plenty of steps to get Medellin there. So Andrade enters this game, throws 2 pitches to close out the top of the 6th frame. They'll strand runners on first and third. Bears protecting a 3-2 lead and trying to add to it when we return. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Bears bringing the middle of the lineup up to the plate with a 3-2 lead, and they'll be facing a new pitcher, a right-handed thrower, Trevor Eby. He'll be making an appearance for UTA. It'll just be his 3rd, though, and 3rd in his career. A transfer from Saddleback College, community college in Southern California. A Palm Springs, California native is Trevor Eby, and has a 16.2 ERA, 1 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts to this point, holding batters to a .286 average, and so it's really tough to judge a pitcher off of a 1 2/3 innings sample size, as he is making his first appearance since March 19th. That was a game against TCU where he went just 2/3 of an inning, and that's where those 3 earned runs came from. His only other appearance was a scoreless frame at Sam Houston on February 28th. So here's Trevor Eby, comes set with the tan glove just in front of his chest. He's working from the stretch and facing Hunter Toplansky, switch hitter batting from the left side. Takes ball 1 up and away, 1-0. They're going to shift a little bit to the right for Hunter Toplansky, who bats from the left side in the back of the box. white and black batting gloves, waving that bat over his left shoulder as he watches the 1-0 pitch fall low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. So the second baseman, that's Ryan Black. He's playing in the right field grass. Jojo Medellin, the shortstop, medium depth short. Corner infielders, well, they're playing opposite each other. 2-0 pitch is right down the middle. He gets over top at 87. 2 balls, 1 strikes. The third baseman, Tate Bethel, playing just back of the bag, 10 feet off the line. First baseman playing way back with his heels on the outfield grass, just about 4 feet off the line. 2-1 pitch to Plansky. Shot on the ground towards second. It squeezes under the glove of Ryan Black. He got some leather on it, but wasn't able to get it too much in the dirt. Had to bury it to get underneath that one. And Hunter Toplansky sneaks one into right field for a base hit. He's 3 for 3 today.
For the time being, it's going to go down as a base hit. But the second baseman, Black, moving to his left, put the glove down and kind of just tucked it up a little bit, raised it as if the ball were going to bounce, and it just didn't bounce, allowing the ball to roll right underneath. It was hard hit, 102 miles an hour off the bat, but a bit of a misplay by Black at second that is ultimately in the scorebook right now as a base hit.
R.J. Rouet takes his third at-bat of the game, checks his swing, did go around, says the home plate umpire, and it's 0-1. Trevor Eby, a really tall right-handed thrower. It doesn't look like it, though, on his roster card, but when he's out there on the mound, really looking like a large presence, big guy. Next pitch misses low and inside, and R.J. Rouet works his way back to an even count, 1-1.
Yeah, he's only listed at 6'1", 170. But he's got an intimidating presence out there.
1-1 pitch to Rouet. Fastball roped into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rouet takes a hard round around first. He retreats back there. Into third goes Hunter Toplansky, and it's the first career Baylor hit for R.J. Rouet.
First collegiate hit for R.J. Rouet. He came to Baylor last year in high school. He hit .385 with 5 home runs and 46 runs batted in. But across his first 4 at-bats at the collegiate level, a couple of them being pinch hit, he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and an infield pop-out. So that's got to just feel good to punch one into left field, get it out of the infield, and finally record that first college base hit. I mean, he's had plenty of scoreless outings on the mound, but now he's done both things. Checked off the marker for first collegiate strikeout and base hit. Rather, strikeout while pitching.
That's right.
And base hit.
Cade Fletcher is the batter. In the back of the box, got a big wide stance. Eby will check back at first, and Rouet is back in diving. No outs in the inning. The Bears have runners on the corners, just as UT Arlington did on Baylor back in the 4th inning. And that was when they were able to get just 1 run across. Fletcher in the righty-on-right matchup. The first pitch he sees, fans and misses. A nice pitch that was low and away, broke away from the end of his bat, and it's 0-1. So Fletcher worked his way back into the lineup. A .239 hitter, 11 hits on the season with 5 driven in, and a great opportunity to add to that right here. Eby comes set. Here it comes. Breaking pitch that was outside but called strike 2. Nearly at the chalk of the left-hand batter's box, one that looked like it was a bit high when it crossed home plate too, but Cade Fletcher has to accept strike 2, so he's down 0-2. Here's the 10th pitch from Trevor Eby. No outs in the frame. Kicks and deals. Line drive into the UTA dugout. Can't believe that didn't hit anybody on the way through. It hits off the back wall and then ricochets back towards everybody standing up on the railing. Hard hit ball by Cade Fletcher.
Yeah, but the band still has not got that strike call out of their mind. They're still harping on blue.
0-2 to Fletcher. Reaches out over the plate and swings at strike 3. Caught chasing as Trevor Eby has himself his first strikeout as a UT Arlington Maverick, and first at the D1 collegiate level. And that brings up Tyreek Kemp with runners on the corners.
Yeah, he had just had a couple of appearances coming into this ball game. He had thrown 1 2/3 innings, given up 3 earned runs, a couple of hits, and a couple of walks. And as you mentioned, Joe, that's his first collegiate strikeout.
So a couple of collegiate firsts in this bottom of the 6th inning. Brings up Tyreek Kemp from the left side. Right-handed thrower deals. And it's a breaking ball that falls in at bell tight for strike one. Seems like Eby has really found some comfortability with that off-speed stuff. The fastball was missing early on and getting hit. That's why we got runners on first and third. See if we get more off-speed here. It's 80 miles an hour, but too far inside on Tariq Kemp. 1-1. So Kemp back down to a .238 clip on the season, 2 homers, 29 base knocks, and a chance here with runners on the corners and 1 out. Corners are in. Gets a piece of this one, rolls it towards first base, but it's about 5 feet in foul ground. Kemp was on a tear heading into that Sam Houston midweek in the West Virginia series. Settled down a little bit since then. 1-2 pitch. Checks his swing. He'll check with the third base umpire, and he did not go. Now, that's a tough one there. It really did look like he might have gone around on that swing. Tough to tell from here, though. A good look down the third base line for Matthew Martinez. And now Tariq Kemp is working with a 2-2 count.
Hunter Toplansky may have blocked the view of the third base umpire Matthew Martinez, which has helped out Tariq Kemp.
He becomes set. The 2-2 pitch. Kemp stays alive. Barely catches a piece. It rolls back to the backstop. He's worked a pretty good count. Trevor Eby, 1 out in the inning. Runners are on the corners. Middle infielders playing back. First baseman holds the runner on while the third baseman Bethel is playing even with the bag. Eby comes set. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Kemp. He swings and taps it on the ground towards third, and on the infield grass is Bethel throwing on the run. It's in time at first to get Kemp there, but the runner from third, Hunter Toplansky, comes in and scores. So he makes it a 4-3 ball game, does Tariq Kemp. A little swinging bunt just past the mound on the left side from our point of view. And that actually makes it well, we're going to say it is a 4-2 ball game. Whoever's operating the scoreboard put 2 up there, but it's 4-2. And now they fixed it.
Yeah, just doing his job. Tariq Kemp puts the ball in play, and he knew the situation. Just put it in play, and Hunter Toplansky will score.
Here's Braden Buchanan, 158 hitter, fouls it straight back into the fencing. That is just beneath the screen. At the backstop, he is 0 for 2 today. Was able to reach base in the second inning on an error, though. Was able to get to second. That's where he was left. And now he's got a runner on second in R.J. Rouet with 2 gone in this inning. 0-2 pitch from Eby. He comes set, takes a look at second, now throws home. Hard hit on the ground, but right into the glove of Eby. Look what I found here at the left ear as someone from the crowd says the same exact thing. An underhand flip to first to get Braden Buchanan. That ends the bottom of the 6th inning, but the Bears get 1 run across on the ground out by Tariq Kemp. So with a 2-run lead, we'll move into the top of the 7th frame. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Four to 2, Baylor leads in the top of the 7th inning. Kobe Andrade threw just 2 pitches in the top of the 6th and was able to get JoJo Medellin, the 9 batter in the lineup, to ground out to second. And now he'll be working against the top of this batting order, J.D. Moreno, Ryan Black, and Tyson Pointer. So these are the guys who have been able to get on base today for UTA. No hits amongst those three, though. And now a lefty on righty matchup to face J.D. Moreno. The designated hitter digs in, and the first pitch he sees bounces in there on the 72 miles an hour curveball from Andrade, and it's 1-0.
This is actually going to be a pinch hitter. Moreno, left-handed bat. He's been subbed out with the lefty Andrade on the mound. It's a pinch hitter, Kalen Digert.
He takes outside here. It's 2-0. Interesting to take a guy like Moreno out of this game. 267 hitter, has started in 28 contests this year. And the next pitch misses low and outside again. Kalen Digert batting from the right side. 2 hits this season, 2 for 10 at the plate. A small sample size for the freshman. But right here, he's going to accept a 4-pitch walk, flings the bat towards the first base dugout, and he's on his way to first to start off this top of the 7th inning.
He's one of 8 true freshmen on this UT Arlington roster that have seen a little bit of play at least, and he's going to be replaced on first for a little bit more speed. Jackson Hill, another true freshman, is going to run for Digert at first.
So a couple of changes at the top of the order there. And now this brings up Ryan Black. They're clearly just trying to make a difference, trying to get some speed on the base paths. Hill at first takes a big secondary lead as that one is right down the middle to Black. So here's a lefty-on-lefty matchup against Black, who's 0 for 3. 48 hits on the year. Two for 4 against Baylor the last time these two teams played, and the next pitch he sees ties him up. He fouls it down the first base line. It's 0-2 on Black. And went 2 for 4, had an RBI double in that game, was the only run plated by UTA. He brought a 15-game hit streak, or a 15-game on-base streak into the Houston series this weekend, into Game 3, actually. Next pitch, shot on the ground into right field for a base hit, and he gets on base once more as he followed up those first 2 games in Houston with an 0 for 4 day on Sunday. So a good job by Ryan Black to get back on track here. And he improves to 1 for 4 on the day. The runner moves up to second. They'll be on first and second with nobody gone for Tyson Pointer. Pointer is 0 for 1. He grounded out to short his last time up, accepted 2 hit-by pitches in the first and in the third. Andrade comes set. Right-handed swinger Pointer watches a fastball go by his knees. Strike 1.
Since the 4th inning, this UT Arlington team didn't have a hit through the first 3, but since the 4th, they've had now 1 hit in each of these last 4 innings.
Pointer swings and tags it straight back into the screen, 0-2.
And even though there's 2 runs on that scoreboard, Baylor's been working out of a lot of trouble. 2 runs, 4 hits, but the Bears have walked 3 batters, hit 5 more, so there have been effectively 12 runners on the base for UTA today.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a drive to left field. Cade Fletcher goes back, a couple steps back into his left. He hauls it in, spins and throws. The runner going to advance from second to third. That's Hill, the pinch runner after the pinch hitter. And a nice job for him to stay alive on the base paths. And notice that Cade Fletcher was maybe a little lackadaisical in turning around and throwing that ball in. So they'll have runners on the corners with 1 gone for Ryan Ellis.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Cade Fletcher saw it, and he saw how far off the base Hill was, and then when Hill retreated back to tag, he didn't even think that he would go. He did, though.
Ellis takes strike 1 on the outside corner.
It's an interesting situation there. Hill probably should not have gone, but because Fletcher wasn't in a rush, it gave him enough time with that speed to run on in.
0-2 pitch. High and inside. Ryan Ellis chases after it. He barely gets a piece off the middle of his bat. And it tips into the glove of Braden Buchanan. He's back to 0-2.
That was a swing that if you put barrel on ball, this is a UTA lead.
Lefty on lefty matchup. The 0-2 just outside. 90 miles an hour on that fastball from Andrade. Tries to paint that outside corner. It goes back to 1-2. Corner infielders trying to turn 2 here with middle infielders. 1-2 pitch. Hard hit on the ground, right back at Apodaca. Throws home to Braden Buchanan, chasing the runner back to third, tries to spin away from it. Buchanan tags Hill halfway up the third base line, and there's 2 outs in the frame.
That was not the right read by Kobe Andrade, but it works out either way. The Bears needed a double play to get out of the inning, and that was hit hard enough where the Bears probably could have turned 2. Instead, Andrade's trying to look Hill back to third base. He doesn't bite, so Andrade throws to Buchanan at home. The runner is caught up between there, and instead of just running back to third, Braden Buchanan chases him up the line, and Hill, he just stays put and allows Buchanan to throw the tag on him. Once he looked backwards and saw that Hunter Toplansky was standing right behind him, he turned around and almost crashed right into Braden Buchanan with the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one that, as just mentioned before that pitch, the double play is in effect. But I think Andrade just kind of where he got it, he looked the runner back and maybe wanted to look the runner back, but noticed that he was racing home, so had no other choice but to try to just get the lead runner, which I guess isn't too bad of an instinct to have, especially when you're, faced with certain situations in the game where you maybe don't have a force out or a chance to turn to. And so nonetheless, it got a big roar from the crowd to get that second out of the inning. They knew how important that was to get the lead runner there, and Hill just caught a little bit off guard. And so while he kind of caught Cade Fletcher sleeping a little bit in left field, maybe he should have taken a couple seconds longer to identify that play and stay on third. They could have had an opportunity with runners on second and third and 2 outs still in the inning. But now they'll have runners on first and second, 2 outs. That's the end of the day for Kobe Andrade. And the start of the line for Andrew Petrowski. He'll be the 4th pitcher we see in this ballgame, Foster, a guy who comes in with an 8.66 ERA, 12 strikeouts to 13 walks, and that's really been part of the issue in recent games for Petrowski is finding the strike zone. And a guy who you've always mentioned as he's come into these games who can work into a starting role. You mentioned that earlier this season in your one-on-one interview with Coach Mitch Thompson, just saying how Petrowski is a guy who can hopefully work his way into a starting role later on in the season. And, here we are late in the season, game 43, and it's safe to say we haven't seen too much from Petrowski that will elevate him into a starting role at this point right now.
Right. I think the control is something that has certainly been an issue for Petrowski. 13 walks to 12 strikeouts across just shy of 18 innings pitched. He's seen a good amount of action, and of course bouncing back from an arm injury and arm surgery is hard to do. You go through a little bit longer recovery process. Thompson said he was way ahead of schedule. You got to see him throw a little bit, or rather Thompson got to see him throw a little bit in the fall. He was back to 100% healthy. In the spring, there were really no hesitations this year. It's just been he hasn't been that number one guy that you use out of the bullpen, which I think you assumed he could be. You could be someone who gains a little bit of momentum, you allow to work up a little bit more confidence, but he just hasn't used that. He's had the opportunities, but he hasn't taken advantage, if that makes sense. But he's still continuing to get those opportunities because this coaching staff definitely trusts him.
Parker Earhart is the batter, takes outside 1-0.
And this is not a high-leverage situation. This is a high-anxiety situation. So 2 runners on. This is the way that Petrowski can kind of find that groove, is getting out of a jam.
Now going up against Earhart, 1-0 pitch off the end of the bat, but laced straight back, high and out of play, 1-1. He didn't play against Baylor on April 16th. Did play this past weekend, though, as mentioned in his last AB. A homer in the 6th frame. It was his 10th of the season, a game that UTA lost, though. 1-1 pitch, outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Petrowski, an 8.66 ERA, having to deal with runners on first and second. Middle infielders will be playing back, as is Hunter Toplansky at third. He's playing real close to the line. Right-handed catcher Earhart awaits. Hard hit through the left side of the infield past Tariq Kemp. The runner on second is charging around third, trying for home. Medellin scores, and that makes it a 4-3 ball game. UTA is able to plate their 3rd run as Parker Earhart knocks another RBI on the season for him, improves that mark to 34, and now it is a 4-3 ball game. So Andrew Petrowski, a chance to just come into this top of the 7th inning with needing just 1 out, but instead gives up an RBI single.
The defense has gone from bad to worse for Cade Fletcher. If he just continued charging that ball and kind of scooping it up on the run, he would have had to throw it home. Instead, he just stopped his feet and let the ball roll to him before making the throw, and that used up too much time where there just wasn't a play at the plate.
The first pitch to Tate Bethel, missed down low, 1-0. Petrowski from the belt, he throws. This one's too high now, and it's 2-0. So do you think possibly we see a defensive change there? A guy in Fletcher who's not necessarily had the best day at the plate, 0 for 3.
And the issue is you don't have someone who could really fill in there that is better defensively than Cade Fletcher.
Petrowski comes set. The 2-0 pitch finds the zone just over the outer edge at 85. 2 balls, 1 strike. You think
I take
Bergman?
that back. Caleb Bergman is someone who could come and fill in defensively, but I think you'd use him more as a pinch runner, potentially, or someone that you trust to. I wouldn't do it just yet, though.
2-1, low and outside, just barely missed. Buchanan held it there for a bit longer, 3-1.
But, I mean, Caleb Bergman has been someone who's put the bat on the ball fairly recently. I mean, he's someone who could do it. I look at that more as a start, though.
3-1 pitch in the zone, strike 2. 94 on the fastball, low and outside, clearly working away from Tate Bethel here. And the count's run full. He's 1 pitch away from getting out of this top of the 7th. Petrowski steps off. Some communication with the catcher, Braden Buchanan, who pops down into the crouch. Tate Bethel batting from the right side. 38 hits, 1 homer this year. Runners go. On the ground, a high chopper towards Kemp. Charges in, throws on the infield grass, and it's in time to get Bethel at first. So UTA will leave runners on first and second. They do get 1 run across, though, to make it a 4-3 ball game. We head to the bottom of the 7th frame. Stretch time from the Baylor ballpark. And you're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Four to 3, Bears trying to protect this lead, a narrow lead at that, in the bottom of the 7th inning, as the Bears trying to get right after a series sweep against West Virginia this past weekend. They dropped all 3 contests in Morgantown after a midweek win against Sam Houston last week, and now trying to get right before the TCU series this weekend, the team that is right on the heels of Baylor in the Big 12 standings. They sit at 9-14. Baylor sitting at 9-12. Facing a team in UT Arlington that actually has a lot of experience against Big 12 teams this year, of course, given how close they are. And now a new pitcher in the game, left-handed thrower for UT Arlington, misses low and outside on the first pitch he throws. Sam Collins is behind 1-0. 6 2/3 innings so far this year for Collins, a 6.75 ERA, 3 strikeouts to 2 walks. Has a brown glove, and on the third base side of the rubber, throws off the end of the bat, lifted into center field, left field at that for a base knock. Enzo Apodaca improves to 1 for 4, and he leads off the bottom of the 7th frame with a single.
This is the 6th appearance on the year for Collins. As you mentioned, that's the 10th hit given up by Collins this season. He's allowed 5 runs in those 6 2/3 innings of work. He's walked 2, struck out 3. Currently a junior by eligibility, but missed all of 2023 with an injury.
His first pitch to Ty Johnson. Johnson tries to lay down bunt down the first base line, but that'll skid to the on-deck circle for UTA. There's that bat boy you were talking about earlier. I think he's about the size of a bat, which is kind of...
It's true.
It's kind of counterintuitive. I mean, he when you have to bring 2 bats back, he might just drop the whole load. 0-1. Johnson lays down a bunt down the first base line. First baseman charges in, flips to first, and it's in time to get Johnson there. He advances Apodaca to second. Little small ball showcased in the bottom of the 7th inning, and with 1 gone, it brings up Cole Posey.
Well, this is the moment we've been waiting for, Joe. Cole Posey is 3 for 3, a single, a home run, a triple. He's a double shy of the cycle. The last cycle for a Baylor batter came in 2004. On top of that, Cole Posey has reached in his last 7 plate appearances. The last guy to hit 8 plate appearances in a row with reaching base in all 8 of them, the guy standing on second base 3 weeks ago.
Enzo Apodaca, an 8-step lead at second. First pitch to Cole Posey. Watches it all the way through. He was taking all the way, though. Low and inside, 0-1.
Sorry for cutting you off,
no, all
but
good.
I think they're kind of pitching around Cole Posey at this point. And that was his mentality stepping in.
And maybe that was the best pitch he's going to see. It was a breaking ball down and in. And this next one down and in as well, a fastball, but it's too far inside. 1-1. Lights are on at the ballpark. Dark skies overhead. The lights have also been turned on at the Betty Lou Mays soccer field over the left field wall. 1-1 pitch from Sam Collins. He looks back at second. The lefty deals. Breaking ball that falls in. 1-2. So Posey just watching 3 pitches go by in this at-bat. Single in the first, home run in the third, triple in the 5th. And a big opportunity to give the Bears some extra insurance. Apodaca dances around at second. Posey puts one on the ground over the mound. A chopper that's going to get through into center field. Posey gets up to first. Apodaca to third. He's going to come around and score. Posey trying to advance to second, and he's going to be out there easily. Trying to extend that misplayed ball into the outfield, into a 2-bagger. But likely it would have been better to just stay at first. There's 2 gone.
He was going for the cycle there, Joe, because that was a base hit. That wasn't an error. It just, the defender, the shortstop was in front of the second baseman, which threw off his vision. So necessarily it's not an out because he didn't see the play. It is going to be a base hit and a single for Cole Posey. So 8 consecutive times reaching base, but no RBI for Posey based on the E4.
Okay, yeah, that does make a lot of sense because likely that normally goes down as a base hit, but it was a ball that maybe could have been played a little bit better. The first pitch to Daniel Alton misses low and away, 1-0. So with 2 outs in the frame, the bases are empty. They have 1 run across. That was Enzo Apodaca scoring on the, I want to say, RBI single from Cole Posey. It is not an RBI single, just a single with the run scoring on the error. 1-0 pitch, down low by the ankles of Altman, 2-0. So still 4 for 4 at the plate today, Cole Posey. Collins comes set, infield playing straight up. The 2-0 pitch to Daniel Altman, lefty on left. Gets a piece of it, flares it towards the first base line and out of play.
Just means you have to hit it around again, right, Joe?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe if UTA is able to put some runs up, you bat in the bottom of the 9th too.
Don't think we're hoping for that one, Joe.
No, absolutely not. 2-1 pitch to Daniel Altman. Fastball at his chest, but called strike 2. Looked like that one was a bit high. 2-2 the count on the 88-mile-an-hour fastball from Collins. He's now thrown just over 7 innings this year. And did not play, or actually made a few appearances in 6 2/3 innings pitched as a junior. Next pitch, up and inside. Altman backs his hands away from it. The count's run full. Collins, a transfer from Weatherford College. That's where he was his first 2 years. Didn't play baseball his first year there, though. His first full season, he played just 4 games, too. High leg kick, the 3-2. Up and away, Daniel Altman extends this frame, accepts a full count walk. So here's Hunter Toplansky. Talk about guys who have been swinging the bat really well, not to get overshadowed by Cole Posey's 4-for-4 day. Hunter Toplansky 3-for-3 from the right side. Here it comes, swings right over top of that 76-mile-an-hour breaking ball. It's 0-1 to Toplansky.
Yeah, 3-for-3, even though it's 3 singles. Toplansky's got a run batted in. He scored a run. He's just done his job at the plate, trying not to do too much, which is the mentality that really helps this third baseman out.
0-1 pitch, low and inside. That one found the dirt, and it's 1-1. Runner on first is Daniel Altman. Hunter Toplansky, 289 hitter. 46 hits, 4 homers, and 29 driven in. Altman trying to dance around at first to draw Collins off guard. He throws home, tipped into the glove of the catcher. Parker Earhart is able to squeeze it. That was a high fastball, and Toplansky went after it. It's 1-2.
He looks a little bit more antsy at the plate, though. I think Toplansky knows he's doing well, and now he's trying to do too much. That was just a big swing at a non-competitive pitch, trying to punch one out of the park. We'll buckle down here with 2 strikes.
2 hits this past weekend at West Virginia. 1-2. Gets a piece and stays alive, but again, right there, it looked like a pitch that he's just trying to fight it off, not necessarily trying to hit it in play.
Well, these 4 and 5 hitters for Baylor, Altman and Toplansky, are really streaky. When they're hot, they're as hot as anyone in the Big 12, but when they're cold, my goodness, they are cold.
1-2 pitch. Altman takes off at first, but it's not going to matter as Toplansky swings over top a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball from Sam Collins. So Collins is able to escape the inning, leaving a runner on first. That wasn't before the Bears were able to get 1 run across on Enzo Apodaca, scoring from second. So we move into the top of the 8th inning. Bears with a 2-run lead. Andrew Petrowski returns to the bump. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all of the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Top of the 8th inning, a 5-3 ball game. UT Arlington stepping up to the plate with 7, 8, and 9 in the top of the 8th. It's going to be Tice Armstrong. First pitch he sees from Petrowski is laced over the head of Hunter Toplansky at third. Into left field, Cade Fletcher having to relay that one in home, or to second at least. He maybe could have thrown it all the way home with that gun because he was able to hold Armstrong at first with a long single.
Well, that was the best throw of the night for Cade Fletcher, showing that he could have made those throws an inning ago that kind of cost the Bears a run to come across the board. He has the potential to be a really good defender, but these Baylor pitchers haven't made it easy on him. 8 free passes, it's easy to get distracted.
Garrison Berkeley takes low and outside, ball 1. 93 on the gun from Petrowski. Tice Armstrong takes his lead at first, 1 for 1 in the stolen base category this year. A big lead over there. Gets into his secondary as the next pitch is over the plate for strike 1. 13th pitch thrown by Andrew Petrowski. Was able to get the last out of the top of the 7th inning. That wasn't before giving up an RBI hit. And the next pitch finds the zone low and outside, 1-2. Berkeley playing in center field today, the junior out of Aledo, Texas, a TCU transfer, batting .193 this year. Fans and misses at a pitch in the dirt, strike 3. 13th on the season for Petrowski, evens up the walk to strikeout ratio. And there's one gone. What a way to respond after giving up the leadoff single.
You had mentioned sequencing earlier by Jared Matheson being really good, and James Leverton's called a heck of a game. Goes with the breaking ball outside to get that swing and miss, and first out of the inning.
Hunter Toplansky will play up at third, runner being held on at first by Posey. Jojo Medellin shoots one high down the left field line. It'll get to the all-metal grandstand just out of play. There's one fan in that grandstand, a young kid, and he's going to go home with a baseball.
Well, he also took off his hat as if he were going to try and catch that ball if it were anywhere close to him with his ball cap. And I think he could have done it. It was just a few rows behind him, though, so he didn't risk it. Probably a good call.
Definitely. 0-1 pitch. Medellin takes a strike down the middle, 0-2. Medellin is 0 for 1 tonight. Sacrifice fly into center field or left field that scored a run and a hit by pitch. He bats from the left side and facing the right-handed throwing Petrowski. Next pitch, up above his letters, 1-2. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Petrowski. Slings that bat in his right hand around a few times and now puts it above his left shoulder with the blue and white batting gloves. He swings and misses at strike 3. Medellin goes down on strikes for the first time today. Back-to-back Ks for Petrowski, and there's 2 gone for the top of the order.
And Mitch Thompson's going to head out to the mound with the pinch hitter, or rather the pinch runner, who was Jackson Hill in that 7th inning. He's a left-handed bat. And it looks like Mitch Thompson is going to opt to go with a left-handed arm here with the left-handed batter coming on. So a pitching change here at Baylor Ballpark. Interesting, as Andrew Petrowski had thrown 1 inning and given up a couple of hits, but it's only a runner on first right now, and no runs allowed by Petrowski. He would be the first guy for Baylor to have completed an outing without allowing an earned run if that guy stays there, but the pitcher is going to be R.J. Ruwe. Your designated hitter is now going to be a true two-way player in this ballgame. First big league hit, how about first college hit, how about first college save, as if Ruwe can get 4 outs. That's exactly what he's got.
Yeah, absolutely. A chance to really do it all. But we've really seen him mostly in the pitching role, just his first start as a hitter today. But he's appeared in 18 games as a pitcher, 28 1/3 innings pitched, 33 hits, 17 earned runs, a 5.40 ERA for him. He has allowed 3 homers, and hitters are hitting at a 300 clip against him, but has been able to rack up the strikeouts at 27. And trying to limit the walks is something that he'll definitely be trying to do here with a runner on first. Don't want to put any more runners on in this inning that you already got 2 outs in. So it's another pitching change for Mitch Thompson, where he brings in a new arm with 2 outs in the frame. He did it with Andrew Petrowski. It didn't quite work out that time, where Petrowski gave up a single and a run came home to score on that. But it was Tanner Duke to start off that 4th inning, and he went a couple strong. And then that made way for Petrowski to come into that game. And so now R.J. Ruwe will be the 5th arm that we see. His last appearance, he actually had 2 appearances this past weekend at West Virginia. Across the 2 appearances, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run given up, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Or excuse me, that's no walks and 2 strikeouts. In a couple outings where last week he gave up some runs. He gave up 3 against Kansas, 1 against Sam Houston, but looked really good in a tough weekend series against West Virginia this past weekend. So he'll be facing Jackson Hill, 219 hitter, replacing the pinch runner, Dygert, after his at-bat. And he was a pinch hitter for J.D. Marino. The designated hitter, it's now Jackson Hill, the freshman. He takes and is going to have to take a few seconds longer to wait for the first pitch as Rouet checks on first. Deplansky will be playing up at third. Toes on the grass, middle infielder's back. Posey holding the runner on at first. That's Tyson Armstrong, who takes a short lead there. Rouet, left-handed thrower, will check at first again. Outfielders are playing straight up. That flag in center field blowing back and towards left center field. And the first pitch to Jackson Hill. Here it comes. Slide step delivery. High fly ball down the left field line. Out of play. Foul ball, 88 on the gun from Rouet. It's 0-1. Jackson Hill, 4 driven in so far this year. Freshman out of Keller, Texas. Stands at 6'2". A switch hitter from the left side. 0-1 pitch. Takes low and outside, but that caught the corner. It's 0-2. Nice pitch from Rouet there. So now just one strike away from exiting this top of the 8th inning for the Bears, and that would be huge to take a 5-3 ball game into the last frame. Rouet comes set, glove just above his belt. From the stretch he deals, low and outside in the righty box, 1-2. So R.J. Rouet, so far in this game, 1 for 2, a strikeout, a pop out, and a single. And now a chance to get his 28th strikeout of the season. With the tan glove, he's going to wait. He'll step off the back of the rubber. Take a few seconds, a few breaths as he takes a look at that pitch comm once again. And he's ready for this 1-2. Takes a look at first as he comes set. A long pause here before the 1-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. Jackson Hill went chasing on a pitch that was way low and outside. They'll have to relay the first. Braden Buchanan's throw is in time as the Bears are able to halt UT Arlington, and R.J. Rouet is able to get a strikeout and his first collegiate hit in the same game today. As the Bears take a 5-3 lead into the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the
Bottom of the 8th inning, Bears lead at 5-3 on Baylor Lariat Radio. And the man who just came in to pitch the last out of the top of the 8th inning, he'll be leading off this frame, R.J. Rouet. He's 1 for 3.
Well, James Leverton reminding Rouet to take the pitch comm off while you go up to the plate and swing now. So he snags that. Rouet, as you mentioned, he got his first collegiate base hit in the 6th inning. He tacked on his 28th strikeout of the season on the mound. Up one batter ago, and now he's got a chance to help his own cause.
From the left side, he'll be facing Joe Stieber, new pitcher in for UT Arlington. His first pitch is 83 on the gun, and it misses up and away. 1-0 to R.J. Rouet. Now 1 for 10 on the season, and 1 for 3 today. Here's the next pitch. Hard hit on the ground. That gets past the diving second baseman Ryan Black into right center field. Rouet scurrying around first, takes a big loop around the bag there. but he quickly scampers back, and he improves to 2 for 4 today.
Yeah, absolutely smacked that one up the middle. Hard contact, got the barrel of the bat down to a ball low in the strike zone, and instead of trying to pull that one and push it in the air, he just gets on top of it, does his job, rolls it straight up the middle, and now the Bears will insert Caleb Bergman to run for R.J. Rouet. Rouet will now, you got to assume, R.J. Rouet goes to pitcher only, and Caleb Bergman takes over as the designated hitter or pinch runner for the pitcher.
Nice to see as he got back to the dugout there. Looks like that's Gabe Craig, Daniel Altman, Hunter Toplansky, among others, who were right there at the walkway of the dugout to greet him. Hopefully give him some words of encouragement as he is about to go out and hopefully look for this save. As Cade Fletcher was able to get a piece of that first one, he showed bunt, but it rolled towards the UT Arlington dugout in foul ground. Caleb Bergman takes a big lead at first. The third baseman is in on the grass. 1-0-1 pitch is rolled down the first base line. It's going to barely trickle into foul territory. Halfway up the line. Nearly a perfect bunt from Cade Fletcher, but unfortunately, he'll have to put that play in his back pocket at 0-2.
It was a good play, but he was also baiting the first baseman Armstrong to touch it way quicker than he needed, and I think that was something that just kind of got in Armstrong's head. He instead backed off once Cade Fletcher nearly ran into him in the base path.
So Fletcher will step back in, swinging away at 0-2. Here it comes, Joe Stieber. He actually does show bunt. Pitch was low and outside. It's 1-2.
Well, it hasn't been the best day at the plate for Fletcher. He's 0 for 3, and if you're Baylor, you want that 3-run cushion feels a lot better than 2 because any base hit and then one bad pitch, and this is a tie game instead of still on top.
Fletcher fouls it off, and that's going to be it. First out of the inning as Cade Fletcher goes after a 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball low in the zone. He fouls it off with 2 strikes in the count. He's sent packing, and it brings up Tyreek Kemp.
Mitch Thompson with a little nod of encouragement, but now he's going to have a hard talk with Cade Fletcher. The call was certainly to lay down the bunt, but I'm not sure if he wanted Fletcher to stick with it with 2 strikes.
So that brings up Tyreek Kemp. He's 0 for 3 today. Corners are still playing in, and the pitch is low down by the ankles of Kemp, 1-0. So you have to assume that bunt play likely still on here with Kemp at the plate. But a guy who's been able to swing it really well. Tough day at the plate today, though, as Stieber is going to check back at first, and Bergman dives back in safely.
Well, if 3 or 4 base runners of these next batters can reach before recording 2 outs, Cole Posey will get another shot at things.
1-0. Kemp takes upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes, and that would be huge, too. 4 for 4 at the plate and a double away from the cycle. And that, what is that, 8 plate appearances in a row where he has reached base. Incredible. The 2-0 to Tyreek Kemp, taken low and inside, 3 balls, no strikes. Good eye from Kemp, as those pitches not necessarily too far outside of the zone. Stieber able to dial them in slightly close, but a good eye from Kemp, and he's ahead 3-0. 10th pitch from Stieber. Outside, ball 4. So it looks like that runner will get into scoring position after all, Foster, with the 4-pitch walk issued to Tyreek Kemp.
That's just the second walk of the game for Baylor batters. Daniel Altman recorded the first one in the 7th inning, and now this being the second one for Tyreek Kemp, and it is going to force UTA head coach Clay Van Hook to come out of the dugout, stomp onto the mound. No signal towards the bullpen just yet, but the Baylor runners are off the base paths and talking with Zach Dillon, Jim Blair, and Mitch Thompson right in front of the Baylor dugout. And there will not be a pitching change, actually, just a couple of words with Stieber. And now the umpires are going to have to usher Mitch Thompson and the runners to stop conversing over by the dugout and get back to the base paths. It also looks like Cortland Castle is going to pinch hit for Braden Buchanan here.
Yeah, it'll be Cortland Castle. Braden Buchanan was able to reach on an error. He then struck out and grounded out. And now it brings up Cortland Castle. Will grab a bat and hit will the junior catcher out of Woodway. Pinch hitter batting .280 on the season. And now a chance here to give the Bears some insurance runs. One out, runners are on first and second. Joe Stieber remains in the ball game, pitching from the stretch. Both runners go. Throw down to second by the catcher as this play is going to be an out. Tyreek Kemp was caught in the base paths. Didn't necessarily have a great jump, but the runner is able to get to just 90 feet away nonetheless. Not sure if that was one where they were hoping that both guys would be safe. Of course, when you double steal, you hope both of them are safe, but what a great jump at second it was for Caleb Bergman, who had a massive lead. Stieber's 0-1. Castle sends a high fly ball out to deep left center field, taking back Berkeley back to the warning track. He reaches up and flags it down. So given a ride by Cortland Castle, they'll leave a runner on third and still have a 5-3 lead. The Bears 3 outs to get. And that's all that stands in the way of their 20th win of the season. They'll try to get it when we return on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Top of the ninth inning from the Baylor ballpark. Baylor leads it 5-3, and a new pitcher will enter the game for the Bears. It's going to be Patrick Hale, and he'll be throwing to a new catcher behind the plate as well. Cortland Castle was the pinch hitter who made the third out of the bottom of the eighth inning. He stays in the game, plays behind the dish. And it looks like that's the only defensive substitution that the Bears have, as Patrick Hale will warm up, getting ready for his 14th appearance on the season and looking for his first save as a Baylor Bear, Foster.
Well, this is the guy who has established himself in the back end of the bullpen as someone you can really trust. A 4.56 ERA, 1-0 record, but he's just been high leverage. Someone who goes out there, fires strikes, 24 Ks to 16 walks. So he's someone you can trust, and Baylor, all pitchers other than R.J. Ruhe, kind of struggled to find the strike zone. I'd toss Andrew Petrowski out there too. He gave up a couple hits, but he did not walk a batter through simply strikes. The Bears are going to jog Drew Leach and Gabe Craig out to the bullpen to warm up just in case, but don't hate the idea of Patrick Hale. This would be the 5th save by a Baylor pitcher this year, 2 of them for Kobe Andrade and 2 of them for Ethan Calder. So this would be the first save of the year for a right-handed reliever for the Bears.
He'll be facing Ryan Black in 2, 3, and 4 in the UTA order. Ryan Black, 280 hitter, 1 for 4 on the day. Batting from the left side, Patrick Hale working from the windup. His first pitch is a breaking ball low and outside, 1-0. Ryan Black, 1 for 4. And a guy who has swung the bat really well leading up into the Houston series, as the next pitch is in there for strike 1, 1-1. As a freshman, led the team in RBIs with 57, and he was second on the team in batting average at .336. Next pitch from Hale, the 1-1. Down low in the dirt, 2 balls, 1 strike. Throwing to the new catcher, Cortland Castle. The infield is playing back, shifted a little bit to the right for Ryan Black. Hunter Toplansky is even with the bag at third, 2-1. Fastball hard in on the ground towards first. Cole Posey ranging back, snares it, and throws on the run on his heels to Patrick Hale, who was covering the bag at first. A tough play down the line for Cole Posey, but he was able to handle it, regather, pirouette, and throw in time at first to get Ryan Black.
That was a really tough play. Cole Posey backpedaling, and the umpire had to move out of the way because the throw would have been right to where he was positioned. Patrick Hale also a shoestring catch. It wasn't a great throw by Cole Posey, but he was off balance, and the Bears do make it happen against the speedy runner.
Here's Tyson Pointer. He shows bunt, pulls it back. 1-0. Low and outside. Tyson Pointer hit 2 home runs this past weekend at Houston. Patrick Hale with the tan glove brings it in front of his face, now down to his belt. The 1-0 pitch is hit on the ground towards Duplansky at third. He charges in and gloves it in foul ground. Cal moved to 1-1 against Pointer on Saturday. Hit a 450-foot homer to left center at Schroeder Park in Houston. A 2-run bomb. And then on Sunday, he followed that up with another home run. But this one was actually inside the park. It was in the 3rd inning. He hit it off the right center field wall. It kicked into the middle of right field, and he was able to come around and score. 1-1 pitch to Pointer. Fastball in the zone, right down the middle, 1-2.
Well, Pointer's had bad luck of things today. A couple of hit-by pitches, one of which striking his helmet. But he's also got a run scored thanks to a couple of stolen bases off one of those, and then a pass ball or a wild pitch.
1-2 pitch from Hale. Misses low and outside. Cortland Castle points straight back at him, though. He liked what he saw there on the 81-mile-an-hour off-speeder, and it's 2-2. Outfield is playing straight up along with the infield, and the flag in center field pretty much motionless. 2-2. Pointer checks his swing, but he did go, says the first base umpire. Strike 3.
Well, if you thought Cole Posey was on his heels while fielding that ball, Tyson Pointer just one-upped him. That was a breaking ball inside. It locked up his knees so much that he started leaning back onto his heels. Toes were off the ground, and he just checked his swing while he was stiff and upright. And a smart heads-up play by Cortland Castle. Before the appeal, he slapped the tag on to make sure that Pointer would be out no matter what.
Hale's first pitch to Ryan Ellis, the left-handed swinger, takes down beneath his knees, 1-0. Ellis is 1 for 4, and one of 2 Mavericks to have a batting average above 300 in the lineup right now. 1-0 pitch is above his shoulders, 2-0. Outfield will continue to play straight up for him. Duplansky up at third on the same level as the bag. Rest of the infielders are playing in their normal positions. The 2-0 pitch from Patrick Hale from the windup. Fastball hit straight back into the net, right at us.
Joe, I think you could have barehanded that.
How many times are we going to say that this year?
We've got to find the opportunity to actually catch one. We'll maybe do a broadcast from those metal grandstands.
2-1. Down in the zone on the fastball at 92. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Or right field, as you had mentioned. Fan
right
interference, potentially, if we go up and grab one of those, though.
Patrick Hale with the glove at his belt brings it in front of his face and now goes into the windup, misses outside. A 5-pitch walk issued to Ryan Ellis, and that'll bring the tying run up to the plate for UT Arlington in the top of the 9th.
This is what I had warned about. You give up that free base runner, a base hit, anything, and then someone can tie it up with one swing. That's why you needed that one insurance run, and this is the last guy you want to see at the plate. Parker Earhart leads the team with 10 home runs, leads the team with 36 runs batted in. He's got 45 hits on the year. He's hitting .287, and he's only 1 for 4. So it's the kind of got everything moving in the momentum of Earhart having a big at-bat here, unless Patrick Hale, I think he'd have to go attack right at him. Don't mess around with balls. Just 3 pitches right in the strike zone.
So now Hale working from the stretch. His first pitch to Parker Earhart is on the way. Hard hit to Tyreek Kemp, and he doesn't even have to move. That's the 3rd out of the top of the 9th inning. A line drive to Tyreek Kemp finishes it off. A 5-3 win for the Bears in their midweek contest against UT Arlington. They get back on track after being swept by West Virginia last weekend and look to continue their strong play into this weekend series against TCU.
It's just a good all-around ball game. Of course, you're led offensively by Cole Posey and Hunter Duplansky, who put the bat on the ball. They accounted for 7 of the team's 11 base hits. And that is just the production from Posey and Duplansky, rather. If you add in Daniel Allman, who's right between them, 3, 4, and 5 hitters combined for 8 of the team's 11 base hits. That was just murderer's row right there for Baylor. And Cole Posey and Hunter Duplansky clearly stepping up, getting it done, and giving yourself a little momentum. TCU has not been that dominant juggernaut you expected them to be at the beginning of the year, but they are no one to take lightly. One spot below you in the Big 12 standings is a team that you need to come and play with at home. Be ready. Bring your best stuff on Friday. And there's no better way to set the tone than an Enzo Apodaca leadoff home run.
Absolutely. It's what he did against West Virginia last weekend, and that'll be great to start off this weekend series against TCU, and that'll be brought to you on Baylor Lariat Radio starting on Friday for the series opener for UT Arlington. They'll move on to play a 3-game series at home against Sacramento State. Baylor will stay home, of course, as we mentioned, to play TCU. Baylor pitching, putting on a show tonight with runners on for UT Arlington, holding their batters to just 2 for 18. So they were able to get runners on base for the Mavericks, just unable to bring them around to score. So Baylor, a 5-3 win here on Tuesday night. We'll be back on Friday night for the series opener with Baylor and TCU. That's going to do it for us on the Baylor Lariat Radio broadcast. For myself, Foster Nicholas, we appreciate you joining us once again here on Tuesday night. Bears win it 5-3.